Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a brand new video. And this week on the old magic roundabout we have got, I think it's a guy snow plough. Yep, it's only just fitting on the roundabout there. We'll have a look at it. It goes round. I'd just like to welcome any new subscribers. Thank you for joining, it's much appreciated. And I'd like to welcome back any of my old subscribers or old faithfuls, as you like to be called, whatever. Thanks very much for sticking with me on this journey of mine. So that being said, let's get this thing off the magic, get it on the bench and see what we're going to be dealing with. Let's have a look there, see what we've got. Take some stuff out the back first. I've had this for a little while and I've been trying to get a decent windscreen because this one was snapped straight in half. I've had it kicking around here, so I was trying to see if I could repair it and make it look respectable, but it wasn't having any of it. So anyway, I managed to source two actually from BTS replacement parts. Guy lorry number 920. It's a vac form. So what I did, I actually took it base off to try it to see if it fitted, and it was okay. I've got some other stuff in the back I need to get out first. Get them out of the way. Excuse my hand being in the way for a second. Right. The main problem with this is its hydraulic's gone. It was missing, and one of the rivets is it's pulled out from the rivet. We'll have a closer look at that in a minute. Yeah, I've already gone ahead. This doesn't move, it's solid. Got the tailgate on, which is good. It's got a chunk out of the wheel there, so I'm not sure how we're going to do with this. I might be able to, yeah, it looks like I'll be able to turn it around, put it in reverse, whack it round the other way. That might be handy. This one's a bit chipped as well. There must be plastic hubs on here. Yeah, I've took the base off, and the reason I took the base off is because I wanted to try this window unit in. Okay, right, so the base basically one rivet really, and it's hooks in with this there under the front there. So that's off, and you can see here now that the hydraulic should be on there and connect in the middle there somewhere. Excuse my hands in the way. It should connect in a bar that goes across there, so in effect it lifts up like this. That's why I've got these out. These are out in the back there. I've been scrounging around my parts bit, and I think this is about the one that's going to fit, this one. So that's what we're going to try, this one. I think these are a bit too big, but you never know. We're going to try. So I've got them over there out of the way. We've got that over there out of the way. That's the windscreen. So we need to get the rest of it. It's got a little light in the top there, which is in pretty good condition. Just wants sanding up. Yeah. I'm trying to think now how to get the rest. Oh yeah, to get the rest of this off, I'm gonna have to drill out that rivet in the back there, and that's that released the bed. Then get rid of that. The tailgate we can do the usual. Oh, hang on, I think it's already partly out, that one. So we'll just run a file around there, drag that tailgate out. This one is just held in by a pin at the front there, and we'll grind that out, pull that pin out, and then there's a rivet. You can see it. Well, where's my screwdriver on? What's this, my handy bit of kit? There's a rivet there. We'll just have to knock that out, and that'll let all this front mechanism come off then. In fact, I might do that first. It might be easier to drill that out first. It's going to be awkward. I might have to get me get this bit in. In fact, wait a minute. We'll go for it. It's getting a burr in it. So you won't get a drill in there. I think that's come out now. It felt like it moved. See if it has. I would say it has, but it wants a bit more, I think. Just a tad more and we'll get it off. Can't be far off it now. There it goes. Right, that's off. I suppose really if you could do a code through if you wanted to and just use it as a tipper truck. Fill that gap in. Turn it on. There you go. So that's a rivet in there. I'm going to grind these bits off now. I won't bore you with that. You can either grind them off with your grinder or get a file, and that's quite thick, that's quite big, that, so I might get a grinding bit on that rather than the file. That'll release that then. Okay, so, and you can see where the hydraulic ram goes in there. You see where it's been broken off. There's a little pin in there. Got a little mushroom. Let me see that. Let's go and have a look, see if you can see that. It's all gone a bit wavy. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, maybe. It's got a little, yeah, I don't know. No, you can't. It's got a little mushroom that end. So we'll get all this apart. That's where it's come adrift there, look. It's come off this one. That should really be over there like this. And the little bar, there's a little gap. What these two rivets do, they hold the other end of the hydraulic in there. There's two little grooves. You will see. Just there. One either side, and the pin sits in there with the hydraulic arm coming down there. Okay. Right. Let me get this little bit apart then and I'll come back to you. That's all the grinding and filing and messing about, and we've got it all to bits. Now, this one in the middle, this centre one, is proving a bit of a problem getting that out. It's very tight in there. So I might just leave that in there. It will give me something to stick back in the cab with that. Yeah, the hydraulic come off okay. It's a broken bit. So I'm going to leave this. There's a reason we're going to leave that side on. This side, obviously, as you saw, it just fell off. So I'm leaving that off. Now that as a pin goes in that groove from that side to that side, so that's on there secure. It's all painted black, so there's no worries there. So I can slide the pin in, and then I can locate that on there. that would save you a bit of time, and also, you know, hopefully added security. So that's that bit. So that's that out of the way. So basically I just took the old pin out of the hydraulics, which was this one out the bottom, just ground that out and pulled it out. That was that bit, and this was the main pin what held it all together there. So it's just a matter of keep grinding and changing things over and filing and stuff. Right now for the bottom, I've already took this apart, but I'll show you. This pin, it's quite a flathead pin, quite a big pin. Look, oh, excuse the flies in here today, it's a nuisance. That goes through right through to the right through the chassis, and on the bottom of it was the bottom of the spare wheel holder there, and that just sits on there like that. Yeah, with the spare wheel over the top. So that'll be glued back in there because it doesn't do anything anyway, so that's fine, not a problem. Axles, the usual routine, grind off the small mushroom, but will advise you, if you've got plastic hubs like this, to put a piece of card over the hub so you don't damage this when you're using your grinder. Or if you're using a file like this, grind one side, one edge flat so there's no filing bit on that bit, then you can go up against the wheel and it won't do any damage. So don't forget that, or else if you ruin these, you know, you had it, ain't you, really? So they'll come out, that's all right. So then it just pulls out of here as normal. This locates in there and there. That's that. I think we're going to be able to turn these. I was lucky here. That tyre, obviously, it's shot there, and I haven't got any more of these. So it looks like I can be able to just do that, and you ain't going to see that when the tyre's on. So that's saved my bacon, hasn't it? Same with the front, that's come out the same way. They're all right, so that's that. The tailboard, there are only very thin mushrooms on here, so you can just pull that out, release the tailboard. As you can see, it's only a thin bit, not very big at all. So that's all stripped. The last thing I've got to do is get this light out of here. I'm not sure quite how I'm going to do that. I might just tap it out. I'll have to investigate. That's why I don't do a lot of stuff. Well, I do a lot of stuff on camera, but I try not to, because sometimes you don't know what you're doing, do you, until you get stuck in. So I'm going to get that out of there. There's obviously an aluminium piece, then the light. So that's that. And then it's stripper. All this lot in the stripper. That. I'm not putting the wheels in. I'll put that in. Wheels and axles, I can do them myself. Put that in the stripper. I'll put that in the stripper. And the main chassis itself when it's done. Okay. So that's the next station. Okay, here we go with the caustic soda. Here's your boiling water. I better put my fan on first, don't I? Boiling water. See what this does. Flip that. I'll turn that upside down. I think it might be easier. Get at it. Right, here we go. It's spilling over a lot because it's nearly full. That's why it's spilling a little bit. need to see if I can get a bigger tin for the big stuff, you know. For the big stuff. Well, we got a funny colour. We got a funny colour. There's a lot of bits in here, so I'm not 100% sure which is going to get done first. I'll hook a bit out here, see what the progress is. Get hold of it. Oh yeah, this is the yellow back. That's coming out on ice. Yeah, that's cool. Pretty much got all that off there. Yeah, there you go. That's all off. Chuck her in the rinsing tray. There's a little bit of residue on it, not a lot. Just gives a bit more room in here now. Let's have a look at the old cab. It looks like it's coming off. Yeah, that's coming off a treat. Just to remind myself where the yellow was on here. I know I can look back on the video, but just good practice really to try and remember where your two-tone started and where it finished. Yeah, I would say we've got a good result with that. There you go. Give that a minute or two in there. So how's the old snow plough? How's the old front end getting on? Now the black's coming off all yet. The yellow's the yellow on here is a bit stubborn. The black's come off no problem. Now it's come off that side. Well, I'll leave this one in a bit longer, the plough. Okay then, next up, cleaning. That's all the cleaning done. So, after the caustic soda come out quite nice. Not bad at all. So that's that. Tailboard. Cab. Chassis. Yeah. Quite nice, not a bad little bit of detail on the front there. Bringing the body up has highlighted that, nothing on the back. Pretty straightforward. There, so that's that. And, oh yeah, the base, clean the base up. That's that. Clean the frame up. It was a bit bent, so I twisted it straight. So that's clean that up. That's ready to go for painting. Right, now, snowplow. Cleaned all that up. This paint, the black paint on the bottom of this snowplow, was quite hard to get off. As you saw in the caustic soda, the rest come off easy, but this bit here, just that bottom half there, don't know, it was hard to get that off. Anyway, you remember what I was saying about the pin missing from there, and that I kept that one side in, that side of framing. So what I've done, I've made a pin, and it's not iodide in it, it's some epoxy glue. Glued the pin in after sliding the arm over, Yeah, it's just what I used was the shaft out of one of the pop rivets. Basically, it's easy to cut with the snippers, so it cut down easy, and I like to get it in there. And then you put this half on, and basically this half, the flat half there, what goes over the rivet, that covers the pole, so it can't come out. Yeah, so I've epoxied that down, and the pin as well. So it's all good to go. Got movement in it. Got a bit of play in it. I've done all that because it's a lot easier. I was faffed about trying to work out and get a pin and trying different sorts of pins before I settled on this rivet pin. So I thought, well, I'll just try this on there. And I got the glue mixed up, so away I went with it. So it's nothing, it's not rocket science. Just epoxied this on, the bar in there. And I have tried it. This is the other end. Now what I've done here, this part of the shaft came with this, as you saw right at the very beginning. And this bottom half, the fat piece there, was a bit that was broken off, and it was still on the frame. So what I've done, I grafted this piece onto that piece, and so I've got the depth there. All right, it's not too, and I just sanded it down and give it a coat of black. So that's that, and that goes over. That goes over there, like so. Yeah, and it all works. I did give it a quick try. But I needed to get this done because I want to paint this, and I want to paint it. I'm going to put a bit of masking tape over this bit, obviously. I don't want that painting black, but that was it. So that's what we're going to do. Get ready for painting on that side. The other thing was, with the frame, there was that big pin in there, big fat pin, and it was difficult to get it out. I drilled it out now, and because there wasn't enough. With the pressure on that, lifting that up and down like that, if I just glued it in there, I think it would have lifted it and broken it, because that's the only place it's attached is there, and I didn't want it to come off. So it doesn't attach anywhere else. So what I'm going to do with this, again, I'm going to pop rivet it. I've got a pop rivet, what will fit in there, look. Yeah. It'll go through the frame. Hopefully it's going to be long enough through there and attach through there. And I think it's just going to be long enough. What I've done, I've loosened I slightly loosened this a bit. Just tapped it down a fraction to give me a bit more length in there. So when it just starts to crush up, it will just give it something to bite on. That's the theory. Whether it works, couldn't tell you. But we'll soon find out when I've done all the painting. All right, so there we are. That's where we are at the minute. So now I can get on and prime it. That's why I had to do all that, because I wanted painting, and I had to get this drilled out before painting. So I've done all them now, so I can paint it all now. So I'm going to get some grey on, and we'll see what it's like when we've done the grey, and we'll get on with the black and the yellow. The yellow first, obviously. Okay then, onwards and upwards to the painting. Right, gone ahead and got everything painted. I had a right trouble with this, as I probably touched on it on my last video, the beginner's guide, that I was having problems with something, and this was it. I don't know what was going on, whether I was having a bad week, I ain't got a clue, but it just did not go right for me on this one. This bit was fine. Yeah, that was fine. This bit had a bit of aggro with it, the masking of it, getting it where I wanted it to be. The black and yellow, it's always not a great combination to paint, but we got there in the end. As I say, this is still, that's still attached, that's okay. So I've got that sorted. As I spoke to you previously, I attached that, so that's all good to go. So that's finally lacquered and done. But this was the problem I had getting around here, around there with the masking of it. It seemed to go on fine for me, but it just started bleeding, and when I pulled the tape off, I had tape marks. It was just awful, and it's the same tape I normally use, so I don't normally have a problem with it. It just wasn't happening for me. It just wasn't happening. So then, anyway, it took me a while, stripped it, redone it, so we're back to square one. It's not the greatest of paint jobs. I've done the best I can with it, and I don't intend to go any further with it. So now I need to paint the details on there, the grille, the lights, and the bumper. But the main frame will cover that, most of that anyway. So, but I'm going to do it just the same, because you'll see it through the bars. All right. So apart from that, that's all done. So that's where we are. So it's detail painting, and then it's assembly time. So we'll get on with the details. Okay, here we go, all painted up. What I've done here, I've gone ahead and put the vac form window in and the light, because I used a bathroom silicone sealant this time rather than the super duper glue, because being a vac form, it's quite thin plastic. I didn't want it to cloud it, so I had to do that last night and give it time to set before I messed about with it. So I've done that. It's not rocket science to put that back in there. And I've gone ahead and put pinned over the back axles, got them in, basically while I was waiting to get that done. That's quite simple. I use a hammer, this one, and I use my metal block. This is quite a hefty chunk of metal block, and put the wheels on. I obviously cover it with a cloth, and then I get these in the said position on the corner, and then just bang, 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 bang. Keep going. I'm doing a PB here. Bang, 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 and get it to a nice flat edge, and just round it off with the hammer, carefully, obviously. That's how I do those. It's quite simple, really, but you need a good solid weight. It's it's hard to film it because it's a bit of a balancing act. You're holding this, you know, and you're holding your hammer, and you're holding, you know, you're like this, and the camera's jumping up and down like bloody Zebedee on speed. So it's difficult to film it, but there you go, that's done. I'll put the bottom half of the ramming in there because I needed it to be open. Same thing again, just give it a tap down. Made that a bit easier. Just now I've got to put the tailgate in. That'll be next. So anyway, details, that's what we're here for. Details. Well, not a lot on front of this. The grille, the headlights, and side lights. Really, there's nothing at the back here I can do. So that's basically it. Door handles, I can do those. So we've got the paint, got my brush, I've got my bifocals on, or whatever, and being black, it's going to be fun. So here we go. Whoops, I won't spill my paint. I'll keep your paint off to the side here. I don't want it all over the place. I'm hoping you can see this. There we go. Most of this should be covered up by the front piece. So I'm going to paint it all in. Yeah, so I'm going to paint it all in. Like I say, there's no point spending time doing individual bars when you're not going to be able to see it. So, and being black, it won't hurt to give it a bit more colour, will it? Hey, say yes. Yes, of course it does. No problem. Well, I hope everybody's okay and doing well and having a good day or a good evening, whichever it is you're doing whilst you're watching this. I will quite honestly say I'll be glad to see the back of this. I'm trying to keep this in shot. I'm using my phone this time on this one. There you go. Yeah, you could make a nice code 3 out of this if you wanted to. Because quite a few of these have got broken ploughs at the front. You see them on eBay for sale, broken ploughs, or half broken anyway. So, and to be honest with you, they're not cheap. The Bedford one should be a bit easier to do than this one. One, it's a bit bigger, and two, it's not as broken as this one. So with the camera, the hand gets in the way, it whites it out. Get a white out, not a whitey, a white out. It's getting out a bit. Here we go. Here we go. Just do this light and then we're away. Right, I'm going to carry on doing this and I'll get back to you in a second. Assembly timing. Here we go. We got there eventually. Right, there's all the parts. I was doing the detailing on the last segment. I've done all that. It's in the front there. And I've gone ahead and put this on. The reason I've done that is because it was awkward trying to get this on. Well, I was on camera because I was using the big hand riveter, and it was a job. It was a big thing, and it was awkward. So I'll put that on there. So now just got to put it back together now. So best way to do this, I think, because I'm going to be using Super Duper to put the base on for the rivet, and this back here, because that's the rivet that goes through. It's a big chunky one, and I've got the spare wheel holder as well, so I'm going to be gluing that. Okay, so I think we'll start off by putting the base on, which has got the little tag there, what goes in like so. I've got this on wide angle this time, so I'm just going to put a little bit around. What I'm going to do, sorry, is going to put, I'm just going to put a drop on either side of this plate. Just a little bit. Yeah. Just hold that in position. And a little bit around the hole here. And drop this in. I'm not ready. Should have been prepared. That's set up for a bit. That's that bit done. And we get organised for the. We're going to put. I think we're going to put this on last. That's. I think it's going to be a bit awkward. We'll try and get all the back end on it first. So just leave that for a second. Okay, back end time. I want to put the pin in. I've scratched a bit of paint there, look, a bit chipped off, so I've got to touch that up. That was unfortunate. 2 pegs, back of the cab. Drop it on. Flip it over. Just going to put a bit of glue around this spare wheel holder to hold it all in place. Dabba dabba do on there. Then we can stick the spare wheel on. This bit should be done then. Just give that a minute to go solid. Then we're going to line this bad boy up. Yeah, I've got to touch up 1 or 2 bits around here because this tailgate, obviously with putting the paint on it, it's 1 or 2 bits of scratch on just on the inside. You can't see it when it's shut, but when you open it, you can see 1 or 2 bits at the side. But I definitely have to do that bit there. That's a shame. I just caught it as I was putting it in. Right, okay. We'll leave the spare wheel. We don't need to put that on just yet. Spare tyre, shall I say. Right, now this one is basically fits in between there like that. Yeah. Okay. I'm just sort of making sure that's not going to come off. Yeah. So we've got to get the ram in. This is where it's awkward with the fingers getting in the way. We've got to get the ram up. So the first thing you have to do is to get the ram to fit in. So you've got it on. Just push it down gently. Don't want to bend anything. Get it in position. somewhere there, about there. And trying to feed this through here. I might have to lift it right the way up. So even now it's giving me grief. Right, there's a pin going through. Through that one. Get it through this one. Come on now. I think we're through. Just, yeah. It only just fits in there. There's not a lot of movement in there. That's going to have to be glued in that end. Well, I'm a silly bugger, aren't I? There's me saying, do this and do that, do the other. And I've got it the wrong way. I've got, if you see, like I've got this side should be on the inside. Just going to push that pin back out now. Yeah, it's silly side, aren't I? How the hell did I manage that? It's because it's black. Can't bloody see it. In this light, with my eyeballs. Right, so that's got to go across. Now we're cooking on gas. Fiddly, fiddly. Come on. There you go. That's better. Now we're in. Now we're in. Yeah, because it's painted all black and it's in the shadows, so it's a job to see it sometimes. So yeah, that's in now. Okay. So basically, we're there. And let's see if it operates. And that should lift up like that and stay. Perfectamundo. Good job. Then down again. And ploughing. That's it. So going to put a little drop of super duper glue on that end because this rotates on the inner bar. So that can be quite happily glued. You've got something like this and I don't really want to be putting this and trying to paint that over. I'm going to end up smashing this. So you can just put a little bit of super on there. In fact, I'll just put a drop on now just to show you. Just put a little drop on. That just holds that pin from coming out. That's where these nozzles come in handy. These nozzles. And I get them when I buy the super glue from the pound shop. You buy them in them bottles. You always get, you can get these, you get 3 of these as well, and I'll just cut them down as they go, you know. And they work fine. They work fine. So there we go. There you have it. There you have it. Just got to put the wheel spare tire underneath, touch that bit of paint up, and we'll get it on the magic, and we'll have a look what it looks like. There you go. Here she is then. Dinky Toys, Guy, I think it's Guy Warrior, snowplow, black and yellow livery. Yeah. Looking good. Bit big for the old turntable. Pity it's not snowing outside. I could have got you some outside shots, but there you go. Got a bit of sand in the back. Well, you could call it sand or rock salt or whatever, just to fill the body out a little bit, make it a little bit more realistic in my books. It's a shame the body doesn't tip actually, because it's got a swinging tailgate, but the body doesn't tip up. Shame that. But there we go. There it is. There it is. Let me lift this up. You can go right up to there. Don't know how the driver's going to see, but there you go. I think you can get it up there if you want. I think it's a bit of, whoa, look at that. That's reflecting off, isn't it? Sorry about that, chaps. I suppose you can have it just halfway down or whatever. Whichever way you want it. But there it is anyway. There it is. All done. So I'm glad this one's finished, to be honest with you. I really didn't think it was going to give me so much trouble, but it did. Only little stuff, you know, nothing major, just little fiddly bits what were a pain in the backside. So there we go. What do we say? Onwards and upwards. On with the next one. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. And I appreciate all you comments and stuff like this. Like I said, I was trying to get back to you before we're on the Sunday. For the end of the week. Okay then. So, look after yourselves. And we'll see you soon.